Hello, here we are again. How you doing? I'm reading your messages and having a cup of tea. Actually, um, we've got actually I'm seeing lots of people here. Hi again, Louise. How you doing? Thanks for joining us again. Suzanne from is that Germany? I think yes. Hello, Suzanne. How you doing? And Yvonne. Hello, Clark. Really looking forward to watching this. I love What Other Reason. Such a lovely song. Thank you very much. Um, Miho. Hello, Clark from Osaka. Konnichiwa. Oh, I love Osaka. Hello, how you doing? Hi, Nadine. How are you? How's things? Bit chilly, isn't it? Um, Larissa. Hello, Clark. Thank you so much for these wonderful lives. I'm very happy. I just love all of your music. I love you. Thank you so much, Larissa. These are you always give me such great messages. What have I got here? I've got Veronica, Ricky Woo, so excited. Thank you, Clark. Love you from Malaysia. Thank you, Veronica. You always stay up so late for these things. Actually, it's only the third one, isn't it? So there's plenty of time to change your mind. Um, Daihan Chu, greetings from Vietnam. Hello. Thank you for staying up late as well. Roz, what have we got? Hi to the JHJ Massive. Hi, JHJ Massive. You diehards. Thank you so much for joining in here. Antonio Impresso, ciao Clark. You obviously say something beautiful in Italian. Thank you for joining, man. Hello again, Joe. Made it for the start of this session for the first time. Third time a charm. Absolutely. Let's hope that's the case for the performance. Eh? Thank you, Joe. We've got Richard. Hello, Richard, and hello, Julie. How you doing, Julie? Nice to see you here. Eric. It's I've got no, I've got some retro man there. I hope you're going to stay this time for the whole thing. And Nadine, oh, good, thank you, and hope you are too. I am actually, Nadine. I'm trying to stay warm here, as I'm sure anyone in Surrey. There's someone else from Surrey actually in the UK who's commented that it is very cold. Um, Hello, man. I still don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. Clark from Kazakhstan. Hello, man. Thank you for joining us. Um, Tom Harkins, hi from California. Hello, Tom. How you doing? It's a reasonable time of the day there, isn't it? Um, Mandy, hello. How are you, Mandy? Good evening, Clark. Mandy, sorry, Mandy. Mandy Farmy there. Know her well. Um, Irina, hello, Irina. Nice to see you too. Alice, how you doing? Are you saying hello, Lou and Julie? Everyone's greeting each other here. That's wonderful. Jason, greetings from Inverness, Scotland. Oh, Jason, I love it up there. I did a lot of recording actually just outside of Fort William for a while, which is another story. And Liam Smith, nice to see you, Clark, a true 80s legend. That's definitely too kind, but I'll take that one. Thank you. Um, well, I could go on and on here. Folks, we have quite a full episode here, so I want to say hello to everyone. Um, let's just quickly say hello to Matt Stryker. Is that? Hello, Clark. Well wishes from the state of Michigan. How you doing, Matt? Thanks very much for joining. Hello, Moya. How's it going? Nice that you joined us from Ireland. Beautiful Ireland. And okay, we could go on and on, and I will come back to you. Hello, everyone. How you doing? I hope you've had a good week. I've had a pretty good week. Lots more to tell about that soon. But firstly, I want to do a couple of shout outs, if I may. Firstly, to my family in Kentucky, to my Auntie Daphne and my cousin John and Ada and all of the family, the extended family over there. How you doing, everyone? Whether you're catching this live or tuning in later, it's good to know that you're watching. Thank you for your support. Hope to see you soon one of these days. And also to my dear friends Mariella and Mauri who are watching as well. Thank you both so much for joining. And once again, thank you for the drum machine. They gave me a beautiful drum machine over here, which you can't see, for my birthday, which was really very kind of them, and a beautiful book about the need to connect with the wild land again. Very important for me. So thank you both for joining in. Um, I have to just say, I've just picked this out at random. Christina Laurila. Hi from Finland. Hello, Christina. How are you? Sarah, I'm watching from Wales. I know I keep saying I love these different places. It makes me sound like a Las Vegas entertainer. I love that place, but I really do love Wales. I did a lot of recording there and spent a lot of time in Pembrokeshire, but also in the Beacons, the Brecon Beacons. Hello, Pranav. How you doing, man? Greetings from New York City. Missed the last two episodes, so I could not miss this. Thanks for joining, Pranav. Yeah, it's not always possible, is it? Pranav's been a long time supporter of Johnny Hates Jazz and me, and it's good to know that you're here, Pranav. And Geraldine, can't wait to see you play in Ireland. Oh, I'd love to, Geraldine. I mean, it's so close. It's crazy. Maybe when all the COVID thing is over, that will happen. I hope so. And I've got LAS888. I kind of like that name. It's very interesting. Hi, Clark. Hello. How you doing? Um, Caroline. Hello. I'm in Torbay. Oh, I know Torbay well. Yeah, I used to live in Totnes, so I do know Torbay very well. I hope you're doing well there. Hi, Jerome from the south of France. And Linda from Hungary. Hello, Linda. How you doing? Um, Gerrit van der Hart. Hello, Mr. Night Fox. Yes, that is another name that I'm known by. Everyone now you know that. Um, and let's just say hi to Lax, a good friend of mine. Hello, Lax. Greetings from sunny Austin, Texas, dear Clark. I knew that one day being a die-hard, never give up admirer of your music would pay off. Lax, that's very kind. Save that compliment for whatever my next musical offering is, okay? And April Bridal Nay Richards. It's Isaac's 17th birthday. He's listening to all your amazing music. Happy birthday, Isaac. 17. It's a ripe old age. You've got plenty of wisdom now. Hope you're enjoying this, Isaac. And hope your mom's enjoying it as well. So, hi, Clark. Hello again. I don't know how to pronounce your name. If you ever get a chance to send me a voice message, I don't know if that's possible on Facebook. I should know that, to just tell me your names. That would be really good if I can't pronounce them. Um, Paul, hi from Aberdeen, Scotland. Hello, Paul. And Chris, hello from London, just up the road. How you doing, Chris? And on and on. I really could go on and on. I have to say hello, Angelica Gonzalez Moreira. Hello, Clark from Chile. Hola, Angelica. Thank you for joining. It's always great to hear from my friends in South America. And hello, Tatiana from the Ukraine. I hope you're doing well, Tatiana. And on and on we go. Okay, we'll have to come back. Hello, everyone. So, as you know, today we're going to be focusing on um, what other reason, which is everyone has their favorite, it seems, from whoever the artist is, whatever the album. But when it comes to Turn Back the Clock, what other reason actually comes up quite a lot as people's favorite. Um, but there is one person for whom it was very interesting to hear this is their favorite, and I'm going to come to him in a minute. Firstly, I just want to do another shout out to a friend of mine and Mike's called Alex Ewan. Hello, Alex. I don't know if you're able to watch this live, but Alex has produced a really powerful film called Quan Dao, The Journey of a Boxer, which is a Hong Kong movie. It's out in Hong Kong now. And what other reason is the theme to the movie. In actual fact, it's the acoustic version of What Other Reason, which you find on the 30th anniversary edition of Turn Back the Clock, which we put out in 2018. It had one disc of all of the songs from the album re-recorded acoustically, fresh recordings. And Alex put What Other Reason in his great movie. So there you go. If you're in Hong Kong, go see it. If you're not in Hong Kong, find a way to see it. So the person I'm speaking about who told me that What Other Reason is their favourite song from Turn Back the Clock is a wonderful chap called Cliff Masterson. And Cliff is a very successful composer, orchestrator, arranger, conductor, worked with many, many different very well-known people. But I got to know him because he is the orchestrator and conductor of 80s classical. Now, just to fill you in, you're going to see an interview I did with Cliff, a pre-recorded interview, in a minute. But 80s classical, for those of you who don't know, were two concerts that happened in 2019, obviously before the pandemic. And the first one happened in Leeds in the UK, in Millennium Square, and the second one happened in London at the Coliseum in Covent Garden. And the premise is that a handful of artists who arose in the 80s would perform their most well-known songs with a full orchestra, arranged and orchestrated, as I said, by Cliff Masterson, and in conjunction with his colleague Steve Anderson, who is a tremendous producer, works a lot with Kylie Minogue, and so the idea was that you would come to see this full orchestra live. The orchestra is called the Orchestra of Opera North, fantastic orchestra, and they were very, very successful. It was just a stunning night. It was us, me and Mike. There was Carol Decker from T'Pau. There was Howard Jones, Nick Kershaw, and Jimmy Somerville. It was just a great night and a lot of fun for all of us. In fact, I can just see there's my friend Alex. Alex, thanks for mentioning Clark. Great song indeed. That's Alex Ewan, who I said was the producer of Kwandao. Thanks, Alex. Thanks for being here. So that was 80s classical, and we were going to do more with them, but we had plans to do our own tour for the Wide Awake album in 2020. And of course, all of that came to a stop, 80s classical and the Wide Awake tour, because of the pandemic. So the next I heard from Cliff and from Steve Anderson, was the idea of doing some new recordings of the primary Johnny Hates Jazz hits from Turn Back the Clock with the Orchestra of Opera North, and make those available to you in some form, which we're working out. But they're being recorded now. So these have never been available for orchestral versions of these songs, and I'm very, very excited about that. So without further ado, I'm going to show you now the interview I did with Cliff the other day, and I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Cliff, welcome to Journey Songs. Let's talk first about 80s classical. We obviously met as a result of the first 80s classical concert happening a couple of years ago in Millennium Square in Leeds, which was absolutely wonderful. And your orchestrations were just magnificent. We were so blown away when we actually did the gig, more than anything because of what you brought to it, and of course the audience up in Leeds. What was the thinking behind 80s classical? Where did the idea come from?
So I work on these shows with Steve Anderson, and we have previously created a few other shows, and we've been working together for 20 years. And we did one of these kind of Ibiza Classics, club classical type shows 3 or 4 years previous. And in the set, we actually had a couple of 80s songs. We had a remix version of Here Comes the Rain and some other things. And we actually realised that those songs were getting such a great reaction from the audience because they could sing along. Obviously, a lot of that kind of Ibiza club thing is instrumental, which is great. It's really exciting. But there was a real lift when suddenly you could hear the audience singing the lyrics. And we just thought, hang on, there could be something in this, because the music of the 80s lends itself so well to being, exploded, if you like, into a symphonic type of arrangement. So we just thought we should chase that. And we did. We spent a year or so deciding how we could put it together and how we should run the show. And obviously we approached a few artists who were graceful enough to let us run with the idea and put our spin onto it. And that's how it was kind of born.
Let's just talk about the recordings that we're now doing together.
Yeah.
How's it going? You've just recorded Orchestra of Opera North for the artists who performed at those initial gigs a couple of years ago. How's it going?
Yeah, really well. So obviously everyone's been locked down, and we've been itching to do more shows, and we just decided we're looking for a way to expand the brand and basically get the songs out there, because even though they're on YouTube. We just felt that there had to be a way to let more people hear these incredible songs. So we spoke to the Orchestra of Opera North, and we found a way to get into a space, socially distanced, to record the whole orchestra. So it's the full symphony orchestra. We actually did it over a few days, so we had to have just the strings to start with, and then on the next day we did the brass, the woods, and the percussion. So it was all kind of spread out, and they performed brilliantly, and they were so keen to do it as well. I think they've been kind of locked up in the same way, and they just wanted to get out and perform. So there was a real energy to the recordings.
Brilliant. So obviously, for everyone watching this, these are going to be recordings that are going to be commercially available in the future. It features from Johnny Hates Jazz, Shattered Dreams, I Don't Want to Be a Hero, and Turn Back the Clock. What other artists are you working on for this project?
So I could certainly say that Carol's going to be involved, and Nick Kershaw's going to be involved, and there are others, but I can't let the cat out the bag just yet. So watch this space.
Yeah, very exciting. Well, it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to us finishing those. These are brand new recordings, folks, by the way. Okay, so Cliff, let's go back to 1988 and the album Turn Back the Clock. Now, remember early on when we first met, you said that What Other Reason was probably your favorite song from that album. So give me some background. Why that particular song?
I think it's a moment in time for sure. I mean, I've still got my original 1988 CD here. Here it is.
Wonderful.
And I just love the album, but of course you only hear the singles on the radio, and obviously once you've got the CD you can listen to everything over and over again. And there was something very particular actually about that song that really drew me in, and it's something I hadn't heard before. And it was that transition. You have this verse with this, and these two chords, the major to the minor, and that I just love that. I just love the way you sort of have that, the major right next to the minor chord. It's so unusual, and I just really fell in love with the song.
It's interesting because it's a chordal approach which is still very rarely used. It's so simple.
It is. Yeah, absolutely. You very seldom hear it, and I think it probably was the first time that I'd heard something like that, and it just really stood out.
Interesting. Great. Cliff, well, I'm going to get back to the live stream now. So thank you very much for joining us.
No, thank you for having me. A real pleasure.
Yeah, and can't wait to hear the recordings of the 80s classical stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Very soon.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Thanks.
So there we go. I hope that all came across okay, because I actually haven't done an interview on Journey songs before. And in this instance, it was going to work better if I did it beforehand. So anyway, yeah, very interesting. Cliff, picking out some other musicality of What Other Reason. Now, I should, mention that of course I was a wee lad when I wrote that song. It wasn't one of the first ones for the Turn Back the Clock album. It was kind of in the middle. And there I am. That's me as a wee lad. I look the same, don't I? Well, And it's an interesting one because I was thinking about what to say regarding this, and I found this. This is the vinyl version of the 30th anniversary edition of Turn Back the Clock, which is a cracking album. A double album. The CD was 3 discs, but this has the most important material on it, which is the original album remastered and the acoustic re-recordings. And I pulled this out, and there's a couple of my favourite photographs actually from the band. That was the very first one when we were on Virgin, and this was for this one here. So I'm going off at a tangent here. This one here was for I Don't Want to Be a Hero. I think some of you know that already. That was going to be the cover. That's another story, quite a heavy story actually. But I've got the notes for some of the songs here, and basically because I'm wearing contact lenses I cannot read any of this. But basically what it says is that there's one particular chord. that chord, which is in the middle section. I don't want to play the whole thing yet. And that's an E7th alt for any musos out there. And for those of you thinking, what on earth is he going on about? Good point. And Mike's comment really was that the final recording didn't change that much from the original demo that I'd done, because it just works in a very stripped back, simple way, simple approach. And Mike did a lovely acoustic guitar solo on the original recording. So yeah, that's turn back the clock. Sorry, one other reason. It's been a long week. It's time for some water. Actually, folks, I was going to say, we should make this a thing. I've got a cup of tea down here. I've just got it down here so I don't spill it everywhere. It could be catastrophic for my clothes more than anything. Bring a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a cup of something or a glass of something, and let me know what your brew is as we're going through this. We can compare notes. I might even extend that to biscuits and possibly cake. Biscuits. So what other reason is quite a melancholy, sad song in a way, and it's written about someone that I knew but I was not in a relationship with, but I could see what she was going through. And she was someone that no matter how much her partner told her that he loved her, she just wouldn't accept it. She couldn't trust him that he was telling the truth. And I knew both of them, so I was kind of privy to their situation. And I kind of wondered why this was the case, and my friend, my male friend, was just saying that, you know, he was reaching the end of the line with just having to try and convince her that he actually did love her, and she just wouldn't believe it. And it turned out that she had been hurt in the past by someone else, and it had made her feel that she didn't deserve to be loved. She had been made to feel so low and so worthless that she was, you know, deeply wounded as a result. And that was very sad to hear. And so I really wanted to write a song from him to her, to sort of express what he felt, and hopefully that would be healing for her. But I think that in retrospect, thinking about the song now, it makes me realize that we are trained by society to look outward for approval, look to other people for approval, or areas of society, groups of people for approval, and a sense of self-worth and deserving. And that's an incredibly dangerous thing, because really the key is to feel good about ourselves and recognize our own worth regardless of what people think. It's not that you shouldn't listen to other people, but at the end of the day, what's most important is how you feel about yourself. And I think that especially these days, you know, my comment is that I think we're all succumbing more and more to this sense of external approval. I mean, in a way, you could say, you know, likes on social media or that, or retweets or whatever. But it goes much further. For example, reality TV, people get voted off and on. And a particular one for me that I find quite troubling is the amount of singing competitions on television. You know, they've got different names all over the world, but you know what I'm talking about. And really, you're talking about a panel of experts, in quotes, who were basically there to create dramatic television. And part of the way you create dramatic television is to get people to be elated and celebratory and hopeful and everything if they do well, but also crush them if they don't do well. So there's tears and there's trauma. And I think that is abjectly wrong. I mean, the idea of being in front of a panel of experts, what is an expert in that realm? Are these people really experts? I don't think so. I think they're just famous. That's all. Um, and believe me, famous people are some of the unwisest people on the planet. So I think this is something that I hope is just a moment in time. It's lasted quite a while now, but I hope it comes to an end and we start looking to ourselves again for our sense of self-worth. I hope that makes sense, everyone. That's my little moment for the afternoon, evening, or morning for some of you. Okay, now I have a note here to turn on my reverb and be professional. I think it's time for a quick cup of tea. Hang on. Yes, a slightly plain mug. Ah, that's better. Okay, before I launch into the song, actually, let me turn that back off. Sorry, everyone. I realize that I'm kind of meandering here. Okay, Neil. Oh no, we've got Roz. Hello, Roz. My colleagues always tell me to shut up. I'm sure. I don't really know what to say about that, Roz. I'm staying out of that one. Okay, we've got Julie. Yeah, I agree, Clark. It's brutal on human minds. Yeah, it is, isn't it, Julie? It's not a good thing. Jeroen, goedemiddag. Jeroen, thanks for joining us again. You're a wise man. Well, I don't know. I'd like to think so. Miko, wise words, sir. Thank you. I think we all feel the same. I actually very rarely meet anyone who thinks these shows and this kind of attitude of society to look outside for external approval is healthy. It's amazing that it's so popular. Let's hope that ceases to be the case. Dira, I hope I probably didn't pronounce that right. Hi, Clark. Never thought you'd be live here someday. The last album is fantastic. Oh, Wide Awake. Thank you very much, Dira. Yeah, thank you. We'll come to Wide Awake. That's a long ways down the line in Journey Songs, but it is coming. Eva, hello, Eva Lee. Hello, Eva. How you doing? Love the story behind this song. Cool. Yes. Well, it was a sad one, really. Amazingly, they stay together and they're still together. So I'd like to think that What Other Reason played a little part in that healing. Mike, hello, Mike Stover, signing in from San Diego. How you doing, Mike? Thanks for joining us. Oh, there we go. Well, Synthwaver 04. Ah, that's a good name, Synthwaver 04. I'm with you, man. That's the stuff. Do you still speak to the male and the female that made you make the song to this day? Not so much now, just because of distance and lives going different directions. But I know they're together, so that's a good question. Annie, hello, Annie. How you doing? Annie Elizabeth. Oh, bless you. I love listening to you, Ross Thomas. I'm helping communicate between various people here by the sounds of it. Zena, lovely story behind the song. Glad it has a happy ending. Yes, it does. It does. These things can be healed and we can get over them. I love this comment. Maria Fisk, it's very sad. Happiness is an inside job. You said that better than me. Totally agree. That's where it has to start anyway, and then we can invite happiness in from the outside world and the ones we love. Okay, I think it's time. Thanks again, everyone, for your great comments. And so this is What Other Reason. I should say that when I do these performances, I don't do some big rehearsal because it would then be too staged. Like I don't want to prepare this too much. I just want you to hear how I'm feeling it, so that might entail a bit of human error now and again. But that's the price you pay, isn't it? I hope you enjoy this. I've tried so hard make you understand that this is not a lie. Believe in me, and if you take my hand and look me in the eye, what other reason can I give to you when I want you and I need you? What other reason can I give to you when I want you? 'Cause I love you. The two of us have got a fighting chance, but you don't wanna win. Now is the time. You gotta break the chains, but don't you dare give in. What other reason can I give to you when I want you and I need you? What other reason can I give to you when I want you? 'Cause I love you. How much longer must I stay until you find out you believe in love? In love. Oh no, no, no. What other reason can I give to you when I want you and I need you? What other reason can I give to you when I want you? 'Cause I love you. When I want you and I need you. When I want you. 'Cause I love you. When I want you and I need you. When I want you. 'Cause there we go. What other reason? I do hope you enjoyed that, everyone. I haven't played that for a while, and it's a great song to play with the piano because it's just. I know I made a point of this in one of the other episodes that's how I write, but some of them really just lend themselves to being that, as was Mike's point when he made those comments for the 30th anniversary edition. So thank you everyone for joining. How long have we been doing? Oh, I got to turn off. It's my professional moment. Here goes the reverb, and now I'm in the room again, and not in some cave somewhere. Veronica Clark, love is so much. Totally agreed. We got here Marion. Thank you, so beautiful. Thank you, Marion. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Polly Magical, you say. Thank you, Polly. Thanks very much for joining in. Moya, sometimes it's hard to feel that you deserve to be loved. I can relate completely to how your friend felt. Well, Moya, I think we all can in our own ways. We've had our different moments of low self-esteem at the risk of sounding like a self-help book. It's for real. So, yeah, we got to learn to be our own best friends first and foremost. Fatima, oh, I love that. That's cool, Fatima. Thank you for joining again. I appreciate that. Sylvia, beautiful. Thank you. You're very welcome, Sylvia. Sylvia, are you from South America? Because I'm about to say gracias. I hope that's correct. Hey, Matthew. Loved it, Clark. One of my fave tracks of Turn Back the Clock. Thanks, Matthew. Appreciate that, man. Davina. Magnificent. Looking forward to the Quandale movie. Yeah, catch it. It's cool. It's beautifully filmed. Um, Polly says, "Who else do you play when you are just you and your piano?" Ah, interesting. You mean, do I play other artists? I don't, to be honest. It's I listen, of course. You know, I was as a younger man very influenced by a lot of other artists. I was very eclectic. But when I sit at the piano, I write. That's what I do. Or I compose in a kind of an abstract way because I find it's healing for me. It's something that I very much love. Look at this, folks. We've been on for 45 minutes. I originally said these were going to be about 15 minutes long. Oh dear. I hope you're hanging on in there. We've got Thomas Story Circle, Solomon's. Thank you for sharing a very touching song. Thank you very much indeed. Ruth loves this song. I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do. Carol, thanks very much for taking the time to do these live shows for us. Carol, of course, the pleasure really is all mine. I don't mean to sound, like I'm a character out of a Jane Austen novel. The pleasure is all mine, of course. But it really is, so thank you. Sylvia, Porto. So that's not the correct word, but I had to look up what that is in Portuguese. You know what I mean. Thank you. Catherine Taylor Rose Williamson, so beautiful and amazing. I love it. Thank you, Clark. You're really welcome, Catherine. I love your icon. That's a beautiful cat. I'm a cat person. Well, you know what? I'm an animal person. I love animals. It's not a question of cats or dogs or, fish or whatever. I love them all. I love life. And I think life should be held precious. And we've got Mandy. Lovely song. Thanks, Mandy. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Nathan says, "Hi Clark, any chance of you doing a feature on the studio gear there?" It looks interesting. Nathan, don't get me started. I will do actually at some point. There is going to be an extended Journey songs, and that's going to be for just for people who want to participate. It's going to be a kind of a members only thing, and that will come in time. And maybe I'll do that, Nathan, as part of it. Don't get me started. You're probably the same. I love gear. What have we got here? Liam Smith, great performance, Clark. I think the Rain Dance album from 1990 is incredibly underrated. I love the production. I think it has so many fantastic songs. It was recorded when you were in Amsterdam, right? One of my favourite songs from the album is Close to the Edge. Liam, thank you very much for mentioning Rain Dance. Yes, that was the album that followed Turn Back the Clock that really not many people heard, and there is a whole story behind that. Johnny Hates Jazz, Mike and Calvin went on to make Tall Stories with my friend Phil Thornalley, and I went on to do an album called Rain Dance, and they were both Johnny Hates Jazz albums essentially, except that the component parts had split into two, and so they both have a foot in that sound. Well, I'm going to go into Rain Dance actually because that's all coming, and Rain Dance is going to be available again in a new form. It's currently being remastered, so there's a lot to get into there. I really hope you stay with me because there's a lot of interesting stories behind those songs, and like I say, they're very much related to my time in Johnny Hates Jazz the first time round. Okay, just a couple more messages. Ruth Cheswick, hi Clark, can you do a live on Turn Back the Clock? I did, Ruth. I did that, the first Journey songs, episode 1. You can see it on Facebook and YouTube. If you go back, scroll down, you'll find it there, okay? It was the first one. It was a really magical one, actually. So check it out. And Fatima, Close to the Edge is very good. I hope you feature it in an episode. Thanks. That's interesting. Close to the Edge is getting some thumbs up. There is a remix of Close to the Edge that's going to be on this new release in this new form of Rain Dance. So cool. I'm glad you like that. Lax. Rain Dance. The world needs more Rain Dance, Clark. I'm not deliberately picking out the solo album comments here. But thanks, Lax. You're always such a good mate. Thanks a lot. Um, oh, David, how you doing? Thanks for joining again. Clark, do you have any rare and unreleased tracks with JHJ? You know what? This is often asked to me and Mike, and we don't. And the reason for that is that we set the bar high, and we just recorded what we knew was going to be good. We rarely started something that didn't work out, and the reason for that is that, in part, it's that when I finish a song, it's got to be right. It's got to be done. There's no kind of halfway house here. And then Mike is the same when it comes to what he's going to produce and how he's a good sounding board for me and vice versa. And when Calvin was in the band, we were very good for one another. The three of us together were those sounding boards for each other. So we ended up not without any kind of extra tracks laying around. I will say this: there is a version somewhere that we did really early on of Under My Thumb by the Rolling Stones. Why we did it, I can't remember. And it was kind of half finished. That's in some vault somewhere. That's the only thing I can think of, really. So I'm coming to the end here. I'm going to do a couple more comments. Jacqueline, really enjoyed listening to this. I got your album when it was released when I was 16. Still a huge fan. Thank you, Jacqueline. That's great. You were, that's the kind of that's the age, isn't it? When I was 16, I remember the albums I bought, and they're very special to us and stay that way, I think, anyway. Now I pronounce that Bard. I'm sure it's something else. Bard Ellingson, who remixed Shattered Dreams on the 12-inch. Well, that was Mike who put that together. He did the actual 12-inch arrangement and did a fine job as well. So, okay, a couple more, and then I'm going to have to sign off. Caroline Paula Allen, would you consider coming to do a concert in Devon? Absolutely. Devon's kind of old stomping ground, and for me, and when I lived down there, Mike and I were recording the Magnetized album, so Mike would drive down from Cambridge, hours and hours and hours, to work with me in Devon, and I'd drive hours and hours and hours up to Cambridge to work with him. We both put unbelievable miles and kilometers on our vehicles back then. Yeah, we'd love to come back to Devon. I'm sure that will happen. Okay, Julie says, what about Days Like These? I love the tape I have with that on the Lisa and Johnny gave me. Oh, Days Like These. I'm not familiar with that, Julie. Maybe I should be. You'll have to illuminate me, okay? So please do that. Hello, Keith. How you doing? Would like to hear your song, your song on your second solo single. Oh, yeah. That is. You mean when I was very young? That is I Don't Want You. Is that the one you mean? I'm going to reference I Don't Want You. It's really interesting you said that, Keith. Well vibed, because next week I am going to be looking at Heart of Gold. And Heart of Gold actually has a lot to say about it, not just the subject, but also the musical inspiration. And I Don't Want You, which was an earlier single of mine, was kind of a stepping stone towards Heart of Gold. But more from that later. Okay, everyone, I'm going to sign off. Sharon, hello JJ, hi from Hong Kong. Love you so much. Thank you, Sharon. I hope I pronounced your name right. And Synthwaver 04, Heart of Gold, let's go. Yeah, absolutely, man. It's going to be good doing that one. Zena Jones, I've got here. I love Heart of Gold. Glad you do, because that's the one I chose. I do too. Some interesting people were into Heart of Gold, actually. And, oh, yes, Mark and Kirsty, Buckingham. Yes, Heart of Gold next week. I can't wait already. I think, Mark and Kirsty, Buckingham, you're in Surrey as well. So, yeah, wrap up. It's beautiful here, though, isn't it? I think it's a lovely part of this fair isle. Um, we've got Carol. Sorry, I'm spaced out there. Loving Journey song. See you next week, Clark. See you, Carol. Okay, I think it's time, everyone. I'll see you soon. Have a great week. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you for Journey songs. I'll try and answer some comments, by the way, midweek. Okay, so check that out. I'll come back to these and try and add some comments. I'm also going to upload this to Instagram tonight. Unfortunately, people on Instagram can't watch this yet. I'm working on it. So take care, everyone. See you soon. Thank you so much for coming again. Remember, next time, tea, coffee, whatever. Biscuits? Yeah. All right. Take care. Remember, let's feel good about ourselves. Be our own best friends, yeah? Okay. Much love to you. Take care. Bye-bye.